Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today I'm going to be doing one of my very requested videos, and that is what type of brushes do I use and how to clean brushes. So I'm not going to go into detail with this particular video about all of the different brushes that I own, but what I will be showing you is how I clean my brushes, specifically the brushes that have different fibers. So brushes that I use for foundations and concealers, or brushes that I use for powders. As you can see, they are a little dirty. Brushes that I use for finishing powders, liquids, lipstick brushes, and things of that nature. So if you'd like to get some pointers and some tips on how I clean my brushes, stay tuned. Okay, so this is a really quick video of how I clean my brushes. I've been saying for quite some time that I was going to do one of these, but these are just some of my most used brushes. I will do another video on my brush collections. I use different brands for different things, but really quick, so my brushes are, I don't know if you guys can see that, they are super dirty. There's a lot of product in them, and a lot of times when your brushes are really dirty, you will start to notice that the application is not as clean and smooth. You'll probably also start to notice that it takes more product to do the same thing. So when they get that dirty, then, and I do this about once a week. I should do it about once a week, but I clearly do not. But what I do is I'll take any conditioning shampoo. Sometimes, like when I travel a lot for work, some of the hotels that I stay in, they'll have like really nice little travel size shampoos, and so I use these to clean my brushes with. So I wet this with a little bit of cool water. I'm very careful not to get water up to the ferrule, which is this metal piece right here. That way you don't run the risk of loosening your bristles, as well as getting any mold or bacteria down into the ferrule. So I just wet the bristles. I try to keep the brush face down, and what I do is I literally swirl it around, and I'm shampooing the brush as if I were shampooing my hair. And if you can see all the, let's see if you can see, all the brown stuff kind of running. This is all of the makeup that's trapped in here. Another thing is, I didn't really go into detail about this, is that these natural fiber brushes you can use shampoo on, but then with a different type of brush that I'll show you, you have to clean it with an oil first. And so usually what I do is I'm not rough. I'm usually moving in this direction or in the grain of the brush, squeezing it out until it's clear or free of makeup. So I give it a good rinse, keeping the brush downward, making sure there's not any soap in it. And then I'll wring it out in the shape of the brush, and then I'll lay it down on like a paper towel or something like that to dry. Now I'm going to also show you, for example, this is my MAC 190 brush. I use this for concealers, liquids, and things like that. This one is really dirty because it's stiff. And what I use with this is a cleanse off oil. This is a matte cleanse off oil. You can use this to remove your makeup, but I mainly use this to remove the oils out of my brushes. So again, I'll give a squirt in my hand, and if you could see that, it's starting to turn kind of creamy because it's breaking down the makeup in my brushes. Now, this is really important because if you try to clean one of these types of brushes with just shampoo, you'll notice that it will not take it out. Even if it's like a makeup cleanser, you have to use oil to break down the products in these brushes. And again, making sure you're keeping the brushes face downward. I do not submerge my brushes. And usually with these, I have to clean them a couple of times. Now you'll notice it's like white foamy, and that's letting me know that the brush is clean. But I still do it at least 2 times. Now, because I'm using oil in this, I still follow up with a shampoo, because what you don't want to happen is to leave the oil from the cleanse off oil in your brush, because then when you go to use it, then it's going to transfer that oil onto your skin, and nobody wants oily skin. So what I'm doing now is shampooing the oil out of this brush. And you can feel, even though the fibers of this brush are softer, you can feel the oil in it. I just got some new brushes for Christmas from Sephora, and so I will be doing a review of those soon. But this has been a long time coming. Folks often inbox me and ask me questions about what brushes I'm using, and in my brush video that I'm going to make, I'll kind of go into detail about my favorite brushes, why they are, but these brushes are almost near retirement. Some of them are anyway. One more brush that I definitely want to show you guys. This is, I think this is 120, 140, I can't remember now, but I call it a skunk brush because when it's clean, this part is white and this part is black. And again, I use this for applying creams and liquids, specifically my foundations. This is a brush that I use from MAC. And it's also, this is a dual fiber brush. So in other words, it has the fiber that's similar to this one, the natural hair, and then it has the synthetic, like this one, in the same brush. So it's a dual fiber. So I clean this one the same way as I do with the synthetic. I have to clean all this off. This brush always takes a lot for me to clean because I use this one to apply my foundations. It packs a lot of product down on the inside, so you can see now in between shampoos you can use like a brush cleaner. So and I'll show you a little bit of that. But see, this is still very dirty. It takes a lot to clean this brush. And I'm kind of applying a little bit of pressure with a sweeping motion to create some friction to help lift that product out. And I'm just applying a squeezing motion, like squeezing in and up to lift the product that's down on the inside of the bristles here. So usually after about 2 pass-throughs with the cleanse-off oil, I can go in with the shampoo, and you can see that the bristles are turning white now. Sometimes what I will have to do is rub this particular brush if I'm just absolutely wedded to the brush becoming white again. I'll rub it across like a clean towel or a paper towel or something like that. To dry lift some of the product out. But because this is my personal brush, and sometimes I go back through with the cleanse off oil. I've been traveling with these brushes. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've cleaned them. And definitely if you're sharing brushes with someone or you're using these on other people, I would not recommend waiting. You must keep your brushes clean and sanitized, especially if they're on display. Particles from the environment will drop on them. So see, that is a mostly clean brush. The bristles will get much cleaner. Another brush that kind of requires some special attention are, with the same cleanse off oils, are these flat brushes that I use for applying eyeshadow, packing on color. Again, I use these in the cleanse off oil. This bigger one here is time to retire, like it's all warped. But again, you're just making sure that you're getting that oil deep in there in those bristles. Allow it some time to break down. And it should, when the bristles are clean, it should turn white for you. Kind of a white, light, soapy texture. And you'll just pass back through it with a moisturizing shampoo. And the reason why I use a moisturizing shampoo is because these are natural fibers, and so similar to your own hair, you don't want your brushes to be stripped. You want them to be well conditioned so they're not brittle and breaking off and drying out. When you have well conditioned brushes, then you use less product to achieve the desired look. Again, when your brushes are dirty or when they're not well conditioned, you'll find yourself, you know, constantly going into the eyeshadow, trying to pick up more color, and the color payoff or the transfer is very minimal. Again, you want to make sure that you squeeze out the excess water from these and then lay them on like a towel, clean towel, or my preference is a paper towel, to dry. And before I go, I will show you an example. Like, this is a daily cleanser. I have several of these. This is one that I use from e.l.f. It's a daily brush cleanser. I really like it. It travels in my makeup bag when I'm traveling for work. It smells really good, and it's basically a simple cleanser. It has a little bit of alcohol in it, has fragrance to it, and so it'll give your brush a nice refresh in between shampoos. And I'll show you guys really quickly what that looks like. Again, I don't if it's a synthetic or fiber brush like this, you can in a quick pinch use that, but I don't personally like to, because I feel like it makes it more difficult to get the product out. So I'll spray a few pumps on each side, and you can see that it lifts out some of this product that's in here. And again, for a quick pinch, and maybe you use this as a blush brush and you have pink in here but you want brown, you can very quickly lift the color off the top of this so that your colors are not blended together. However, I don't know if you guys can see this, it's still very dirty down in here. So this is why it needs a shampoo. And it's shedding really badly. I don't know if you guys can see these little fibers here. But again, I've had these brushes about 15 years. And it's time to let them go. This is my very first set of MAC brushes. But you can see here, even though I cleaned it, it's a lot of product still stuck in there. So I don't know, maybe if I like did the little quick brush cleaner every day, they wouldn't be so dirty. But I just, a lot of times, have limited time to love on my brushes. So when I get the opportunity, then I do. All right, you guys. This was just a very quick demo on how I clean some of my brushes. And thank you so much for watching.